Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. This is the place to go for high quality free trading education. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight onto the charts. In today's video, I want to speak about Bitcoin because at the moment we do have quite interesting price action and structure. Now, as usual, first I will be covering the technical side, then we will move to the on-chain data, so how Bitcoins are moving on and off from exchanges. So essentially, we will be analyzing the blockchain. Now, starting here from the technical side on the monthly time frame, we can see how the market had the bull run after the halving event that was around here. Then we had the start of the current bear market. Now, the bear market is currently testing exactly the previous cycle high. In fact, from here, this is exactly the start of the previous bear market. Then, as I said previously, we had here the halving event, the market started a new bull market. At the moment we enter into this bear market, which went all the way down and tested the previous cycle high. Now, exactly inside of this area, this is where I expect the bottom to be created. I expect the bottom of the cycle to be created somewhere around this area, and then the market to start a rejection higher. Now, I do not expect the market to create new all-time highs until 2024, because around May 2024, that is when we are supposed to have the next halving event. And only at that point, after the next halving, that is when I expect the market to print new all-time highs around 2025. So in my opinion, that is what the market is supposed to create here. Now, if we drop down on the weekly time frame, what do we have? Now, from a weekly perspective, we can notice how we did have just now the retest of the previous weekly support, which is now turned resistance. From here, all this rejection higher was created. Again, here the market tested its zone and rejected it higher. Again, here tested and rejected. At the moment, the market went all the way down and tested exactly this previous weekly support, which is now turned resistance. Now, as we're testing previous support and resistance, we could expect a potential rejection lower, which is in fact exactly what the market just started. However, we can also notice how at the moment we are testing exactly also the previous low and rejecting it to the upside, because from here, this is where this correction started. And at the moment we just tested its zone and started rejecting it to the upside. So from a weekly perspective, it's quite clear that at the moment the market is bounded in between this support and resistance. So kind of inside of a range. Going down on the daily time frame, what do we see? Now, from a daily perspective, I did make a full breakdown of BTC USD when the market was around this zone. I made a full breakdown explaining all the reasons for which we expect this rejection higher for the market to go and retest the previous weekly support turn resistance. And in fact, that is exactly what the market provided us. And by the way, I will link in the description that previous analysis so you can go and check it out for more free education. However, at the moment, what we can notice is that we are currently below resistance. From a daily perspective, we are below the previous daily support, which is now turned resistance. And we can see, in fact, how already twice the market has rejected this zone. Now, until the market will remain below this resistance, it can easily drop lower for a deeper test of the support that we have all across this zone. This is very possible. After which, I do expect the market to create a rejection higher. But until we will remain below this zone, this is what I expect. However, it's important to point out that if we do get a break above this resistance, this previous daily resistance will become support. At that point, we would also have the possibility from a weekly perspective to kind of create this a rejection higher, which at that point would create this W formation. That is my second option. So I'm monitoring very closely what the market will do around this resistance zone. If it rejects lower, I expect the market to go and test what kind of support we have around this zone. If, however, we get a strong impulse to the upside that breaks above this resistance, at that point on the retest, I do expect a rejection higher. So if we do get a break above this resistance on the retest of this previous resistance turn support, we have good probabilities to see the market create a potential rejection higher. Now, if we go and see what we have when it comes to the on-chain data, so how Bitcoins are moving on and off from exchanges, what we can see here is that the black line is the price, the purple line is the amount of Bitcoins on exchanges. What we can see is that while the price was dropping, the amount of Bitcoins on exchanges dropped even more aggressively, creating massive illiquidity that if demand will increase or if the amount of Bitcoins emitted into circulation gets cut in half, which is exactly what will happen with the next halving, the price should increase in order to accommodate for that new demand. So if we do get this, so the fundamentals essentially are very strong, which confirms that there is definitely the possibility for a bottom to be created somewhere around this zone. So if we do manage to get the break above this resistance on the retest, how we could be approaching a potential rejection higher. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the on-chain data, those are the best timeframes from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best timeframes are the intraday timeframes, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing if we get a break on the retest is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential rejection higher for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. Now, if you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say valid entries and these kind of things, that is all part of the mentorship program, which you can find at transparentfxtrading.com. Here you have the possibility to gain access to my entire course with all the rules of the strategies. You also have the possibility to gain access to one-on-one private mentoring, the VIP market breakdowns with the Telegram signals, the COT data software, which is the one that we used in this analysis, the trading station software, which puts together everything that you need as a trader all in one interface. And if you scroll lower here past the testimonials, you will see that at the moment I'm running a special promotion in which you have a huge upfront discount on the lifetime access price of the mentorship program from 497 euros all the way down to 97 euros for lifetime access, one payment. And since I have partnered with the forex broker Blueberry Markets, if you open an account with them from the student dashboard, you can get a full refund credited back into your trading account. But this is only if you want, you're not forced to join them. Now, if you scroll lower, you will see that at the moment there is still time to join before the timer goes to 0 and the offer expires and price goes back to normal. However, spots are limited, so if they get filled before the timer goes to 0, the offer will end anyway. So I really suggest that you take advantage directly from here to gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout. So definitely looking forward to have you on board. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you. And I will see you in my next breakdown.